Hi here, Finns here. I'm back for another video, and today I'm going to do my Strictly Come Dancing 2020 crimes. Crimes that happened on the dance floor and about the series. So yes, every year it's a tradition of mine to do, I don't know, the crimes of Strictly. This is not me hating on Strictly, as you know, I do enjoy Strictly, but I always find fun of like couples being robbed and things that shouldn't have happened on Strictly. You know, I do this every year. And yeah, I wanted to see the 5 things that shouldn't have happened on Strictly but did. So in any case, these are my top 5 crimes of Strictly Come Dancing 2020. So let's begin. Let me begin. So my number 5 is the VAR animation they use now Strictly. So the VAR, the virtual romantic reality, I think it stands for, the animation now in some of the routines. They've used this new VAR animation, you know, for the first time this year. Some of it, you know, wasn't too bad. They were trialing it out. Some animation looked quite nice. It was alright. But yeah, again, there was some that didn't look that very good in the routines, like some of the animals in Bill and Otis Quick Step or in Jamie and Karen's Quick Step. Some of the animals didn't look that very real and very odd and very unusual, and it was actually quite distracting from the performance. Some of them were alright. It just, some routines that could have had a bit more work on the animation, and it did come off quite distracting. And I did see a lot of people not liking the new VAR in place. Some of the routines with the VAR in it, it just didn't really work. So maybe going forward into the next series, maybe they have to figure it. But yeah, that is my number 5. That they should have done a bit more work on it. My number 4 is that the pros had to sit. Some of the pros had to sit on that sub bench. Yes, this year, because as you know, it was a shorter series. Not every pro was going to be partnered up with a celeb this year, unfortunately, and sadly, only 12 pros were going to be partnered up this year. So, and we had 16 altogether. So, unfortunately, that did mean 4 professional dancers had to sit on the sub bench this year, which included Neil Jones, Nadia Vichkova, Graziano, and Nadia. No, not Nadia, I've said Nadia. Nancy. Yeah. Neil, Nadia, Graziano, and Nancy all had to sit on the sub bench this year, which is unfortunate. I think, you know, it's never nice to sit on the sub bench, but we all knew there were going to be pros that had to sit on the sub bench this year. I did feel quite bad for those 4 pros that didn't get partnered up this year. It was nice to see they were in quite a lot of group routines throughout the series, which was nice to see. It was nice to see some of them take leads in the group routines. At the same time, you do have to feel sorry for them not being partnered up, especially Neil, who then we all celebrated last year getting a partner finally with Alex. We were all celebrating that he's finally part of the proper lineup, and then immediately after, now in this series, him going back onto the sub bench is a bit heartbreaking actually. And you also have to feel quite bad for Graziano and Nancy sitting on the sub bench 2 years in a row, and Nadia now first time going on the sub bench. It's always hard. I felt sorry for them, and I really hope in the next series they're guaranteed a partner for next series, because they're all great professional dancers. I just feel bad for them, and you know, people forget about them, you know, they're actually on the show. I would like to see them, all 4 of them, get a partner. I would like to see Nancy. I would really like to see, you know, Nancy, what she would be like. I would like to see, give her a chance. And I know Nadia, I think she said on It Takes Two that she wasn't really that happy. she was not getting a partner this year, so I would like to see them next year. It's just going to be interesting who will be on the sub bench next year, because they're going to introduce new pros, I bet you. You know, I mean, I'm worried for Luba that she might sit on the sub bench next year. I don't know. Yeah, be interesting if any pros leave the show. Will Jeanette and Karen leave? Who knows? That might give us some spaces. There's rumours that Kevin might come back, but you never know. But we've got to wait and see. So my number three is the audience. There was no audience in the majority of the shows. Where were they? Now, of course, at the start of Strictly, the launch show in the first couple of weeks, there was some sort of an audience. There were a few people in chairs that got tickets to go on the show. Some of them were NHS workers, some were key workers, some were friends and family, which was nice to see. But sadly, just before the second week was about to, the second live show was about to air, there was a press conference about England going into lockdown for a month, and you knew the writing was on the wall that they weren't going to allow people to go to the Strictly studio as part of the audience. So for the next 6 or 7 weeks, like they did not have an audience whatsoever, which was a real shame, especially if you booked tickets or you were about to go to see Strictly. I mean, and that was all taken away from you. And also, you've got to feel bad for the celebs that were hoping to see some people in the audience, and maybe seeing some of their friends and family in the audience, and they couldn't come because of the restrictions. I mean, obviously, there's nothing you can do about it. It wasn't Strictly's fault, you know. We have to be safe and sorry. Obviously, it was the right decision to make. You have to go by the rules, and I guess that's fair. I guess it's just more unfortunate. Yeah, and some of the shows, it was really unfortunate they had to perform in empty crowds. The semi-finals, there were people. We all hoped by the final, though, that we were going to have a big, well, not a big audience, but some sort of an audience. Sadly, that was kind of taken away during the tiers, which was a shame as well. Yeah, I think we've got to be happy that we had some sort of crowds during the first few shows, than using canned laughter and canned audience noise. You know, I'm happy they didn't go down the Britain's Got Talent, you know, having screens of people zooming into the show. You know, I'm glad they didn't go down that route, or the Dancing with the Stars with the fake audience. I'm glad they didn't go down that route. But it is a shame, because you know, you want to see people, you want to see your friends and family while you're dancing. I think that's the biggest, you know, hardest things for the celebs, that their, you know, friends and family can't see them dance. I think that's the hardest bit, really. I mean, luckily in the semi-finals, you know, you had Maisie, you know, bring her friends and family down, which was nice to see. And then people were complaining, like, why is she the only one to bring her friends and family? You know, anybody else could bring her friends and family, you know. But anyway, no, I just think it was just unfortunate for the celebs. Yeah. My number 2 is not everybody got to do a dance, all the dances, at all. So usually, in a 12 or 13 week series of Strictly, you usually get to do the majority of dances if you make it to the final. Maybe you might miss out 1 or 2 ballroom or Latin routines. However, because the series is so short down, and because there were only 9 weeks, and you only got to do the maximum of 9 routines compared to, what, about 12 or 13 usual series? So there was still, when you had the 4 finalists, there was still a lot of routines that they still haven't done. So there were still like a few ballroom and Latin routines they haven't done. And like, there was like only one Roomba this series, or Rumba, whatever, and yeah, and there were some couples, you know, Ramvi or Harley did any Latin routines and she got to semis. You know, it was very weird. I think, I mean, yeah, again, what can you do about it? We knew it was going to be a shorter series. Maybe, I don't know, maybe in the quarterfinals or the week before that, maybe they should have done something like they did 2 dances in one. Like they could do a Argentine tango and then a normal tango, or I don't know, cha-cha and a salsa together in one routine. That could have been quite fun, and you know, well, kill 2 birds in 1 stone. You know, I think that's a saying. Kill 2 birds in 1 stone. Yeah. Anyway, but no, I mean, you know, it would be nice to see more routines from the couples this year. I knew it was a short series. Yeah, again, it's unfortunate. It's just unfortunate it happened. They couldn't do more, because it would be nice to see more routines this year, but as you guess, it is a short series, so what can you do about it? But in any case, my number 1, of course, this had to be number 1. The obvious crime of Strictly 2020 was, of course, Nicola and Katya having to withdraw from the competition. Now, if you've forgotten, Katya, after the 3rd week, they were ready to go to do their ballroom routine. We were looking forward to it because it was the first slow ballroom routine they were going to do, and on Thursday, I believe it was Thursday, yes, on Thursday, Katya tested, I think I can't remember, but she either tested positive for corona, or she was connected to somebody who had COVID. I can't really remember. So she had to isolate for 14 weeks, and of course, as Nicola was in their same bubble, that affected her, and they were out of the competition, which was unfortunate. It was really unfortunate. That means they had no choice but to withdraw from the competition, and obviously they were out, and that was such a shame, such a shame. You know, because, you know, we were all looking forward to seeing Nicola and Katya. You know, they were the very first female same-sex couple on Strictly, and we were so looking forward to see like a slow ballroom routine from them, and it was all taken away because of COVID. It's just so sad. It really is. But yeah, again, obviously, you know, obviously they had to isolate 14 weeks, not 14 weeks, it wasn't that long, for 14 days, and obviously that's 2 weeks out of competition, and obviously it's just it wouldn't be fair enough to bring them back in 2 weeks after, and, you know, which is a shame, but at least they got to do another routine in the final, which was nice. Obviously this was quite sad because I can feel that Nicola Adams is not going to come back in next year's series as well, which is also added onto that as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate that this has all happened, and now she can't compete again, which is so unfair. I deep down, I wish she could compete next year, because it doesn't seem fair that she couldn't compete because she didn't choose to leave as well. But obviously, I know that the BBC won't and Strictly won't. You know, they probably would find new faces for next year's series, and also she's already had 3 weeks of training already and done some of the routines already, and I guess she wouldn't want to start all the way back in the beginning. It's just a shame, really, because we were all looking forward to seeing their routines, and it's just a shame. And we was just, luckily, they were the only couple throughout that series. I know Harvey also catched COVID, but at least he catched it at the start of the series. As I said, if you're going to catch COVID, I mean, don't catch COVID, but if you are going to catch COVID, catch it before the series properly starts, like Harvey, and he was very lucky. Nicola and Katia were very unfortunate about that. In any case, those are my crimes of Strictly 2020. Overall, I've enjoyed the series. It's been a series we'll never forget, and actually I've really enjoyed it. I'm not trying to hate on it, it's just things I wish didn't happen in the series, but did. Anyway, what were your crimes of Strictly 2020? Comment down below and like this video. I will be back for more videos of whatever very soon. But that is the last Strictly video of mine of 2020. So yes, I wonder what's going to be happening in Strictly 2021. We just have to wait and see, but obviously my next Strictly video will probably be in August in 2021. We'll just have to wait. In any case, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye people, goodbye! Merry Christmas! And keep dancing!